Hi, everyone. If you're here joining me today, I want to talk to you guys about the Halloween scaries, the Halloween health scaries. This time of year sometimes can be the time of year where we feel like everything goes downhill for us with our health. And I want to encourage you to enjoy Halloween and to follow my three-part framework that's going to help you understand a little bit more about your body, about what you're able to change, about what you do have control over, so that you don't feel like your health is going downhill for the rest of the holiday season and you're going into another January start. Nobody wants that. Okay, so Halloween can feel like this slippery slope. And with all the candy and treats that seem to appear everywhere, there is good news. We don't have to let it ruin our health plans. So I like to think of handling Halloween treats in three ways: avoid, enjoy, and adjust. So I'm going to be talking to you guys today about avoiding, enjoying, and adjusting so that you can go through Halloween unscathed. And you can also apply these principles to the rest of the holidays throughout the rest of the year. So let's start with avoid. Now, that word may seem restrictive, but knowing when to avoid certain candies can help you stay more in control and can help you feel more empowered and not deprived over your food. So remember that avoidance doesn't mean it's all or nothing, yes or no. It just means that there's a time and a place for you to avoid it so that you don't have imbalanced blood sugar and really feel like you're throwing caution to the wind. So when you should avoid is probably when you are tired, you're stressed, or you haven't had a balanced meal yet. So if you're having candy and you're not having a balanced meal, then that candy is going to substitute the nutrients you could get from a meal. And sometimes I hear people say, oh, but calorically, we can have this amount of candy because it can replace a meal. And so you start getting all in your head in that diet culture way where it's like, well, if I can count all the candy, then I won't have this much food later. And this is how I can make up for it. That's a recipe for disaster. And it's going to set you up to be imbalanced and to crave more and to end up maybe binging or eating even more Halloween candy than what you had intended. Okay. So I want to tell you a little bit about mindful avoidance. Instead of saying a hard no, right? We're not talking about deprivation or no, I can't ever have it. I want you to think about alternatives that feel good. So you might, in a moment where you're stressed, you're tired, or you're hungry, say, oh, this Halloween candy is available to me, right? You have to slow yourself down enough to be able to have that conversation with yourself. But is it possible for you to get a drink of water? Is it possible for you to get an apple with some peanut butter? Is it possible for you to have some dark chocolate and some nuts? Is it possible for you to soothe yourself or satisfy a craving without going into the candy bowl? Just ask yourself if you can step into possibility instead of saying, well, no, I can't have that. That mindset shift is going to help set you up for success so that you can enjoy the candy without feeling like you're going all or nothing, yes or no. So again, avoid it during certain times of stress in the body. Avoid it when you haven't had a full meal, and teach yourself the mindset work around avoidance. That avoidance is really just thinking about, how can I choose something different for myself that's actually going to nourish myself in this moment? The candy will still be there when it is appropriate for you to have it, when you don't have to avoid it, which I'll get into when we go into the enjoy part right now. So the other option for you is to just enjoy the candy. And I do mean that when I say fully enjoy it. I want to tell you how to do that in a way that still honors your health. So you can enjoy candy, you can enjoy whatever's your favorite thing is, while still honoring your health and the way you want to feel as your best self. A part of that is going into avoidance, right? If I can enjoy it, but avoid the times that are going to put my body under more stress, then I'm actually going to enjoy the candy. I want you to choose quality over quantity. Rather than having 5 or 6 pieces of candy without much thought, I want you to pick your favorite one or two that you really, really, really like. So when my kids come home, they're 8 and 11, almost 12. They bring their big, baskets of candy, and they're all excited and they're sorting all the candy. They know that if they have a Butterfinger in there, it's going to mommy. It's rare that a Butterfinger comes into play. Every now and then they get one. But when they do, it is literally my favorite thing, the way that like crunchy wafer inside of the Butterfinger melts in my mouth is amazing. Even the way it gets stuck in my teeth, I really like, and the chocolate melts in your mouth, and it's just incredible. When you feel that way about a certain candy, you've got to enjoy it, like fully enjoy the experience of having that. Another one that comes up more frequently is a Three Musketeers. I think it's just such a simple, chocolatey, delicious nougat on the inside. I love the texture. And you can even tell by the way that I'm talking about the candy that I'm truly enjoying it. I'm getting in touch with my senses, with the way that it feels in my mouth, with the way that it breaks down in my mouth. And even smelling it and getting ready for it and allowing yourself to like salivate and get excited about it is a way that you can enjoy the candy. Another thing that you can do is just have a mindful moment with the candy instead of just shoving it in because you're so excited that it's here, or having those 5 or 6 pieces. Pair it with an experience that feels really good. Maybe you're sitting by a cozy fire. Maybe you're bundled up on the couch watching your favorite show and you just want to have this little piece of candy. Maybe you have it with a warm cup of tea. Maybe you have it in the afternoon with an espresso, right? Curate a time that feels really good for you, where you can enjoy the candy that is paired with something else that's comforting, that fills you up, right? Something else that could replace that candy moment, right? Something that reduces stress, something that makes you feel comforted, something that makes you feel connected, and enjoy the candy along with it. That way you're pleasure bundling these things together so that you can enjoy both of them, and the candy doesn't take all of the pleasure signal in your brain. This other part also is activated so that your body can come back and remember, oh, that cozy time, that fire time, that time that I had the tea was actually what was really filling me up. And then you won't feel so compelled to go back to the candy as your reward. Okay. So remember, if you enjoy it, you're less likely to feel the need for more right after. Quality and mindfulness go a really long way. The third thing that you're going to do is adjust. Okay. So we've talked about avoiding, enjoying, and now we're going to talk about adjusting. This is the part that lets us have some candy, feel good, and stay on track overall. And when I talk about adjusting, it's really about balancing your choices. If you had some candy, think about how you can adjust the rest of your day. So how can you adjust your meals to include more vegetables and fruits and proteins and less refined sugar so that you don't continue down that path or satisfying those cravings that you have after you have the candy? Because the truth is, when I have something like that, it feels like, notice I'm saying it feels like, I want more of it for the rest of the day. It's just a feeling. It doesn't mean you have to satisfy it. That feeling I want you to use as a trigger for you to say, oh, it's time for me to take care of myself. It's time for me to have more water. It's time for me to have those protein and vegetables because I'm still craving the thing and I already had it. So develop that self-awareness enough to be able to make that conscious choice and to adjust the rest of your day. The other thing that I love to help my clients with is do what I call building a bridge. So you're going to build a bridge from where you are to where you want to go. Let's say on Halloween, you enjoyed the candy. It was so delicious. You really loved it. The next day, you're like, I don't want to continue down this road. That's fine. And that's preferable for your body. But so many of us start to go into that all or nothing thinking where we feel like you have to cut everything off and I'm never eating candy again and I'm not going to have any dessert for 2 weeks and blah, blah, blah. Like all of that noise that we end up saying that keeps us from really enjoying our lives and enjoying the next thing. So build a bridge with a healthier alternative. I love keeping it, and I keep this in my house all of the time, year round. Unreal candies. They make a peanut butter cup and an M&M, as well as Smart Sweets, which makes like more gummy type candies. So depending on, your vibe or the type of candy that you really go for, you can get some of those to have in your house as your bridge or your emergency backup, right? You have the craving, and instead of satisfying it with the actual thing, with the Hershey's bar or the Butterfinger or the Three Musketeers or the Snickers or whatever it is that you have around, you go to this less sugary, right? This less sugary alternative that's going to help you get through that moment and feel satisfied. Eventually, because it's not lighting up your brain in the same way that some of this more processed candy is lighting up your brain, your body starts to not crave it anymore and it can move through it more easily. Okay, so you're just having something that has less sugar, less processed things. So it creates less addiction in the body. And then eventually it kind of tapers off. You don't really care about it anymore. Maybe you grab some dark chocolate and nuts. And then you start looking at yourself. You're like, oh my God, I didn't have any more candy. All I had was this other thing. And you kind of give yourself a break from it. So these alternatives can really help you balance your indulgences without that same sugar rush and crash. All right. So to recap today, we talked about as you go into Halloween and you go into the candy madness, and even as you go in through the holidays, into Thanksgiving and Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever it is that you celebrate. And this is the season of food and the season of joy and the season of desserts. And we can and absolutely should enjoy those things. Just remember what's available to you. Avoid certain things if it's going to cause your body stress, if you're already under stress, or if you're having a heavy emotion that's causing you to overeat, or if you haven't eaten anything, avoid it. Okay. Enjoy it in the ways that we talked about, mindfully enjoying the candy or the dessert or the experience. Enjoy it when you have filled yourself up with a full balanced meal. Enjoy the experience that you can curate for yourself, right? With tea or espresso or cozy fire or cozy blanket, or pairing it with something else that's going to help give you that joy, so that your dopamine and serotonin release isn't just reliant on the candy, right? And then adjust it. So adjusting it means that you can balance your choices with alternatives like we talked about, the unreal candies and the smart sweets, and also balancing your choices throughout the day. If I'm going to have candy, what can I adjust throughout the rest of the day so that I can feel really good? Okay. Don't forget to take care of yourself, drink lots of water, get the appropriate amount of sleep, speak kindly to yourself. These things are going to help you feel better and feel less inclined to go for the candy as a way to cope with your body being out of balance. And if you want more information on balancing your body, on the ways to take care of yourself, on how you can get through the holiday season, I am doing a 3-day breakthrough boot camp that's going to help participants make those choices through the holidays and beyond, so they can reach their breakthrough goals, whether it's weight loss or it's health or it's lab results. The truth is that not all of us really know what to do, and we certainly don't know what to believe about ourselves or what to envision in order to make those things happen. So join me to make those things happen. If you're watching this live, I want you to comment breakthrough, and I will get you the link to join that breakthrough bootcamp so that you can enjoy the holidays, really, truly enjoy your body, and love yourself unconditionally on the path to health and well-being. I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon and an amazing Halloween if you're participating, and a beautiful holiday season.